Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 61 of my 90-day personal challenge to create positive videos. Today is day 11 of the adventure of dating ourselves, and we have an interesting assignment today, and I have to try to figure out how I'm going to express this. Although I love talking about our sexuality in an intimate, connecting way, in front of people and going into the deeper realms of it is a little bit uncomfortable for me. It's going to be a task to do this video, so let's see where it goes. All right. Our assignment today is getting in touch with your sexuality. But first, I want to ask you, what is your sexuality? How do you define sexuality? Sexuality to me has different levels. Number one, there's the physical side. There's the physical beauty and the attraction and the chemistry you have with another person. I want to show us through this assignment how we can activate that in ourselves and set the tone for some really fun physical sexual experiences. However, sexuality goes even deeper than that. Sexuality is an energy that creates. In our sexuality, we release a lot of energy in the physical realm, and that feels really, really good. But have you also found that when you're in touch with your sexuality, the deepest part of yourself that just feels free and fun and unencumbered, that there's a lot of creativity there. There's a lot of untapped potential to think a different way, be a different way, and be freer in this world. Our sexual energy is a very powerful energy to create and also to have pleasure in. So, what I'd like to do with this assignment in discovering your sexuality is helping us to get in touch with our own sexual energy. Well, how do we do this? As I was thinking about it, I swear I got even kind of shy thinking about how I was going to express what I want to express here. But if I stick to the authenticity that's in me and the realness, and you get to interpret it and judge it however you want, then maybe I can express what I want to do. What I'd like for us to do in this assignment is take some time to get in touch with our own sexuality. That means our bodies, but also our inner sexuality. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like for different people, different things. It might be putting on some sexy lingerie or some, sexy boxers. It might be putting on some nice cologne or perfume, putting some lotion on. It might be taking a bath. It might be, just putting on some playful music. It might be reading a little bit of an erotic novel. It might be watching a little bit of something that has some sexuality in it. I wouldn't go so focused on the media, only because that can distract you outside of yourself. The connection that I'd love for us to create here is a connection of sexuality with yourself. Now, these other sources of media are fun. They can make your sexual experience really fun and activate some different adventurous sides in you. However, the intention of this assignment is to connect with your own sexuality, which means, like I said, putting on something sexy that feels good to you and you feel you would want to put on to get in the mood for someone and for a special night, but also to then get in touch with your body. What does that mean? Well, without trying to blush, it's whatever you want it to mean. How far do you want to go with exploring your body? For many of us, I found when I started this exercise that even in the little simplicity of touching your hands or touching your face or your neck, or your arms or something, that's really intimate and can almost feel uncomfortable as you do this to yourself. But I say press through the discomfort. Press through it to discover the connection that's waiting behind the level of discomfort for your feeling. The only reason we feel uncomfortable in touching our own bodies is because it's not something we do. It's not some way that we connect with ourselves. But why aren't we? Why do we give free rein of our bodies to someone else, but not to ourselves? That's a question that I think is really good and valuable to look into. Because just like in the exercise of communicating well with ourselves, in connecting with our own sexuality, there's an intimacy that occurs when we are comfortable with touching our own bodies and exploring our own bodies and connecting with our own bodies, that then builds the confidence in ourselves with our sexuality and then opens us up to share that sexuality and that openness with someone else. Doesn't that make sense? The more comfortable you are doing something, the more open you are to sharing it. Now, there is another side of this. There is a side of getting in touch with your sexuality, but just to fulfill a feeling of lack or need. That's a deeper spiritual thing. When you're in touch with your body just to get some need satisfied or some loneliness satisfied, you're not really getting in touch with yourself. You're not really getting in touch with the intimacy and the true sexuality within you. You're at a superficial level, filling some need, some survival need, trying to get some tension out and trying to just satisfy this restlessness that might be going on inside of you. That's not bad. Remember, this platform is Switzerland. There are different levels of exploring yourself, and the deeper you go, the more fulfilling the experiences can be. So filling those needs is not a bad thing, but if you become addicted to it in that way, you miss out on the deeper levels of exploration and sexuality and intimacy and pleasure and so much fun that you can get from going down deep. So going back to our assignment, what I'd like for us to do is put on something that makes us feel sexy, and then taking the time to explore your own body, to touch and experience how you feel in the intimacy of you with you. Along with that, there's the energy of sexuality that I'd love for you to experience when you get to that place of intimacy with you. When you feel free and comfortable in your body and in that sexual energy that you have, watch how your mind thinks and how your spirit moves. Are you inspired? Do you feel relieved from stress? Do you feel creative? Do you want to go do something? Do you find yourself, your mind opened in different ways after you've released that energy and connected with the sexual side of you? I challenge you to go a little bit deeper with that. This is a very deep space, so you may not tap into it right away. This might take, a few times of exploring your own body and your own sexuality and that energy, but we can talk about that at a later time. The first part that I'd love for us to connect with in this exercise is connecting with your own body and your own intimacy. As you start to get comfortable with who you are and start to really feel the sexual energy inside of you, watch how much power you have to bring that beautiful sexual energy into the experiences you want to have in the dating and relationship world. So many times we enter the bedroom with someone, we want to be playful, we want to have fun and explore and do these things, but when it comes to the actual activity of it, we become very insecure and we close off from the adventure of what it could bring to us because we don't even know who we are, what we want, or the other person, and so we start to feel uncomfortable and insecure. Well, this is one way to release that insecurity and build your confidence in your sexuality. So I dare you, go explore this weekend. Explore your body. Find out, just take time to be soft or racy or, I don't know. I'm going to stop right there because I'll start blushing. Just take the time to explore yourself. And then we'll come back here tomorrow and talk about it. I don't know how much we're going to talk about it or what we're going to say, but let's go on this adventure together. Anyway, I'd love to hear your ideas on connecting with your sexual energy and your body. And if you have some just suggestions, remember, keep them PG. I'd love to hear about your thoughts on sexuality and the sexual experience with a partner in the comment section below. If you like this video, please subscribe to me on YouTube and you can share with your friends. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. Anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope you see something beautiful and that the most beautiful thing you see today is you. I'll see you on the next video.